In her husband's eyes, his wife's life is a straight line. Every day, she either cleans the house or practices yoga. But he completely underestimated his wife. After discovering that her husband had left, Anna immediately got up and left. Then she went to the taekwondo gym. Practicing this will definitely come in handy in the future, because her husband and assistant want to join forces to get her killed. Fortunately, Anna had planted a bug in the alarm clock. Anna first drew 200 milliliters of her own blood, poured it onto the floor and kept smearing it with her hands, and finally dragged a horizontal line with her hands on the bloodstains. After doing all this, Anna stepped on the bloodstains in shoes that were 5 centimeters larger than she was. After a while, she changed into a black outfit and left her house smartly. But she didn't go far. Instead, she hid in the corner of the yard. Anna didn't want to do this, but her husband had really gone too far. Her parents had just died not long ago. She then noticed that her husband's clothes smelled of perfume every day when he came home. So she secretly investigated her husband, but found him being intimate with his company's assistant. In order to find out how their relationship was progressing, she took her husband's phone while he was asleep. Unexpectedly, the two had been chatting just an hour ago. The content of the conversation exceeded her imagination. She had thought it was just an ordinary affair, but it turned out that they had been talking about her late parents. It turned out that the two elderly people had donated all their assets after their deaths. The assistant encouraged him, saying, "Doesn't your wife still have savings?" Her husband asked her if there was any way to get it. The assistant told him to prepare for another funeral. Seeing this, the wife's scalp went numb. She never thought her husband was so ruthless. Once, she ignored her parents' objections and insisted on marrying her husband, a penniless man. For this reason, her parents did not leave her a fortune. She firmly believed that her husband did not value her status as a wealthy heiress. After all, they had feelings for each other from the time they fell in love to the time they got married. In order to allow her husband to have his own business, Anna even specifically invested in a coffee shop for him. She thought everything was developing in a good direction. Unexpectedly, she introduced the assistant, a vixen. I don't know when her husband's heart changed, and even wanted to put her to death. Then she pretended to be calm on the surface, but as soon as she saw her husband off, she immediately started acting. Anna did find the assistant's door card in her husband's wallet, so she sneaked into the assistant's house, looking at the messy bed and the photo of the two of them on the side. Before she had time to get angry, she immediately looked at the alarm clock on the table, and quickly unscrewed it, and put in the bug she had prepared long ago. Then she also put one in the switch at her own home, so as to gain insight into everything her husband did at home. Sure enough, that night, she learned from the bug in her assistant's house that the two were plotting how to get rid of their stupid daughter. Hearing this, the wife wanted to buy a grenade and blow them up, but then she heard the sound of the two of them making love, and she felt like throwing up on the spot. But she didn't expect that while they were making love, they were also researching how to put poison in her favorite red wine. At this moment, Anna could no longer control her desire for revenge. You have to know that the name of that bottle of red wine is Eternal Love, because they drank it when they made their promise when they were in love, signifying their eternal love, and even sealing their declaration of love with wine. Unexpectedly, her husband wanted to use this wine to kill her. Since the other party is not benevolent, Anna will not be polite. When her husband came home, he found a lot of blood stains in the house. At first, she just wanted to see her husband's reaction. Sure enough, her husband looked so nervous. She thought her husband had a trace of love for her. But when she found a note left by the kidnappers telling him not to call the police, he gave a wicked smile. At this time, the wife's heart was frozen, because her husband was impatient to call the police. At this moment, the wife decided to go all the way. Then she took off her gloves and took out the pliers. She painfully pulled out one of her fingernails and dropped the blood into her husband's trunk. Afterwards, she sent the fingernail to her husband, and even heard her husband's confession from the surveillance. But her husband valued money above his life. Then Anna took a selfie of being abused by the kidnappers, and asked her husband to take the 5 billion ransom. Watching her husband being fooled around by her, Anna felt slightly better inside. But from the nervous expression on her husband's face, it was clear that he valued Anna's life more than 5 billion won. After retrieving the ransom from the rubbish dump, she knew it was time to finish things off. Anna anonymously reported her husband for spiking the wine, and her aim was to drive a wedge between her husband and his assistant, so that her husband would come back to her. In fact, she had already replaced the poisonous wine with a harmless one. For the final step, she just needed to pretend to be found by the river, and then she could return to her rightful place. But Anna doesn't know if she can go back to the way things were with her husband. When her husband walks in the door, she can't wait to go to him and comfort him. You can tell from her eyes that she's not pretending. He sincerely thanks the heavens for sending his wife back to him. His wife knows that she's gambled right this time. The love she wants is back, but the police haven't caught the kidnapper, so they can't close the case. But the wife said the whole time that she was wearing a mask, so she doesn't know who it was. Although her husband's been cleared of suspicion, the veteran cop reminds him that the test report on the wine bottle hasn't come out yet. His obvious guilty conscience won't do. Suddenly his subordinate rushed over and claimed that no poison had been detected in the wine. The husband was dumbfounded. He had personally injected it. But in any case, he was completely exonerated. The feeling was simply invincible. Little did he know that the old policeman saw his excited expression. This made him even more convinced that Jack was up to no good. So he found the assistant through the reporting information. When he took out the sumac she had bought, the assistant said it was a normal ingredient needed in food. The old policeman knew that this ingredient was toxic when combined with other ingredients, and asked her if she was sure she hadn't given it to anyone else. Subsequently, she revealed that no wonder the poison had not been detected in the wine, and this revelation made the assistant suspect Jack's infidelity. She was surprised that he had not followed their actions. Little did she know that at this time, the original couple were very much in love. The husband was so considerate as to take care of his wife. He even didn't want to leave her in the middle of the night. But he didn't expect that the next day his brother-in-law would suddenly pay a visit. He let him wait quietly for the fish to bite the bait. Jack felt that his brother-in-law was a bit suspicious, but quietly left the room. He didn't believe there was anything hidden in it.